The Star is an 1897 apocalyptic short story by H.G.Wells. Plot summary. In January, the people of Earth awaken to the notion that a strange luminous object has erupted into the solar system, after disturbing the normal orbit of the planet Neptune. Indeed, such object is a luminous celestial body, whose luminosity is distinguishable on the sky about the constellation of Leo. Although initially it is a matter of concern only for astronomers, eventually the world media announces that it is a whole star, heading in a collision course toward the center of our star system. In its way, the star had enwrapped Neptune indeed, bringing it inside. Although many people are concerned by this, the issue amounts to little more than a temporary fad. The loose star continues its path, now affecting the planet Jupiter and all its moons. At this point, the studies of a mathematician are published throughout the world. He explains that both the intruding star and our Sun are exerting reciprocal gravitational attraction, and as a result it is being pulled deeper into the solar system. With the orientation of the star being what it is determined that the star would either hit Earth or pass by at close proximity, which would lead to apocalyptic ecological consequences. While the Earth is losing its night owing to its luminosity, many people begin to worry. Some cynics continue to refute this, remembering the year 1000, in which humanity also anticipated the world's end. The English winter softens progressively into a thaw as the intruding star grows fast on the sky. Its high speed is evident during the worst hours of the event. On that day, in the sky above England, the relative size of the star was equivalent to a third of the size of the Moon. Upon reaching the skies of the United States, the relative size had already increased to the size of the Moon. Soon all of the ice on Earth's surface begins to melt, causing widespread flooding. The star then begins to overshadow the Sun, whose hours seem darker. The planet crust is affected too, with massive cracks forming and releasing lava onto the surface of the Earth. Tidal waves hit, particularly in the Pacific area, and leads to devastation across the world. Most of the human population perishes, and its works are rendered unusable. Cities, farms, etc. The few survivors witness that the Moon interposes before the traveling star, creating a weak eclipse, as it is permanently removed from its steady orbit about the Earth, into a new, more distant orbit. The star then resumes its path to finally meet the Sun. Earth manages to survive despite the massive havoc that has been brought upon its surface. Extensive areas of Greenland have been thawed and are now green and pleasant for habitation. Humans settle in new areas close to the poles, where the climate is more temperate. Meanwhile, Martian astronomers have witnessed the events, concluding that not much changed on the distant planet apart from the melting of ice at the poles. Influence. An astronomer named Ogilvy appears at the start of the story. An astronomer named Ogilvy also appears at the start of Wells' novel The War of the Worlds. The early part of the story, before the dire danger had become obvious, includes a reference to a South African city where a great man had married, and the streets were alight to welcome his return with his bride. "Even the skies have illuminated," said the flatterer. This is considered to be a snide reference to Cecil Rhodes, at the height of his power and influence at the time of writing the master mathematician's defiance of the star. He looked at it as one might look into the eyes of a brave enemy. "You may kill me," he said after a silence, "but I can hold you, and all the universe for that matter, in the grip of this small brain. I would not change." Even now is a clear statement of 19th-century scientific rationalism, the worldview which Wells strongly shared. This story can be credited with having created a science fiction subgenre depicting the impact event of a planet of star colliding, or near colliding with Earth, such as the 1933 novel When Worlds Collide by Philip Wylie and Edwin Balmer, Fritz Lieber's The Wanderer, and Lucifer's Hammer by Larry Niven and Jerry Pournelle. The story is mentioned in Arthur C. Clarke's novel Rendezvous with Rama, and Clarke also used the title for a story of his own. The radio anthology series Radio Tales adapted the story as its episode, Asteroid. The graphic novel Bloodstar uses Wells' story as the prelude to the post-apocalyptic situation in which the plot itself, derived from a short story by Robert E. Howard, is set.